going back to the basics is really, really important. I have this tip, and I'm going to give you my best kept secret for growth right now. And it's free. It's something that anyone can do. And I promise you, if you do this every day for 30 minutes, you will grow your audience. Whether you have 1,000 followers or 100,000 followers or 1.4 million followers, if you do this one thing every day for 30 minutes, you are going to see exponential growth.
This is the Good Influencer Podcast with Julia Markham and Becca McLeod, pulling back the curtain of how this multi-billion-dollar industry works. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.
Welcome, everyone, to the Good Influencer Podcast. You know, our slogan, our slogan is like, if you're going to be an influencer, be a good one. But can I just throw you off and suggest a change? Sure. I think our slogan should be, if you're going to be an influencer, be a paid one.
I love that.
Like, a lot of people, I think, are misunderstanding, like, be a good one. Like, of course, there's goodwill, and it's always good to, like, give back and all of these things. But good influencer is really about getting paid.
It's about making this into a business.
Right. If you're going to be a good influencer, be a paid one. Make that money. That's what we're here for.
It's of different versions.
Anyway, that was just my thoughts this morning at the gym.
I love that. Okay, diving in, I want to talk about Coachella and the phenomenon of what goes on there. I was on Coachella TikTok these past few weeks, watching everything, following along. And I think a lot of people don't know that the influencers that go there are actually working. A brand pays for them to come out, pays for them to stay in a house, pays for their food, pays for their tickets. But the entire time that they're there, they're filming sponsorships, they're sharing affiliate links. It's a huge affiliate opportunity. And there are thousands and thousands of marketing campaigns happening that weekend. Now, CLJ is not really I would say you're a Coachella person, but I could be wrong.
I've never been. Never really desired to go. I also did see Revolve is like under $50 million lawsuit right now for not disclosing sponsorships that happened during Coachella.
They have their whole like Revolve Fest that happens during Coachella, just like at a different location.
And it's actually, they're being sued by a girl that was like, all of these influencers went and they didn't disclose that it was sponsored for them to be there or that they were paid to be there. And I spent money that I wouldn't have had I known it was sponsored. I don't know how far, like I don't think this is from the FTC. I think this is from a person. And I don't really know how far that's going to go. It was just like a class action lawsuit that was filed. Anyway, they said that it was an advertising scheme, which influencers disguised paid product endorsements as genuine recommendations in order to boost Revolve sites. Now, we just talked about this. You can't do this.
That is so fascinating that it's like a civil lawsuit.
I know. And not like the FTC yet. I'm sure the FTC will get involved, and I'm sure that they are investigating it. The lead plaintiff says that had she known the influencer's posts were sponsored, she would not have purchased Revolve's products at the prices she paid, which were at times 10 to 40% higher than those of other retailers selling the same items. This is so tricky because it's like Revolve's prices might be that high anytime. For instance, we have a rug line, and there are times when like a brand will reach out to us that sells our rugs, and they're like, can you please promote your rug line on our site? And we always share what the best price is at the time. Sometimes this company has the best price. Sometimes this company has the best price. Shop around. I think that's the consumer's responsibility, right? To find the best price.
Yeah, I feel like this girl is a little grasping at straws. Like she has a strong case because there was just so much going on at Revolve Fest. Influencers are showing these like giant gifting suites and they're getting to go. But then it goes back to FTC changing these rules about gifting product and that those have to be marked as an ad. So if they were gifted this product.
Yeah, if this plaintiff just stuck to that, I think there would be a stronger case rather than like I bought something and it was 10 to 40% higher than at another retailer. It's like, well, that doesn't matter. That's not the issue because that's true no matter what. But good reminder to us all, influencers, like if you are being paid to be there, now what if they're not being paid to be there?
Taking gifted product and posting about it, I think according to the new FTC rules, you would have to disclose it as an ad. I didn't see
You have to say ad. You can't say gifted. You have to say ad.
maybe you could say gifted. I don't know if they were sending contracts to all the influencers invited saying, if you share about this, you have to say gifted. And also, if the influencers didn't do it, it does kind of come back on Revolve for not enforcing it. This to
Well,
me,
get
it feels like when you play Uno and you have your last card, and if you don't say Uno, if someone else says Uno before you, you have to draw another card. That's what it feels like. Is the brand didn't
and I
close, and this girl's like, I got you. I got you there.
Uno, Uno, I
Uno.
freaking hate that. I think it's so petty when you're playing Uno and someone does that. I know it's part of the game, but I freaking hate that. I'm just gonna say
I
it.
love it. I'm watching like a hawk. But when we're talking about the idea of Coachella and like a big influencer season, what would you say is your like Coachella, your sponsorship affiliate opportunity, all hands on deck? You're known for this.
100%. The Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend is CLJ's Coachella. We are operating on fumes. We have content coming out of our ears, and there can be 5 sponsorships a day that we are working in organically, but that is our Coachella. That is our Super Bowl. We get ready for it like all year. Do I have a cute outfit? No. I could improve on
Oh,
that.
come on.
But
Merch.
I could improve on the outfit for that weekend, but it is really amazing to see what brands we're partnering with for that weekend. And sometimes we'll sell a package deal like for a company, for a brand, maybe they want to sponsor a gift or a sales shout out on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and they can buy that in a package deal. Maybe they just want a story that talks about a good gift item because everyone that weekend, especially these past couple of years, it's been late. And so it kind of feels like it's like, I got to get all my Christmas shopping done this weekend. And people are turning to us, they're turning to their favorite influencers for these like, what's the best deal? What's the best gift? What am I not thinking of? And brands spend a lot of money that weekend to get their name out because traditional ads like Google ads, they are so expensive that weekend. Google hikes the prices up that weekend because there's so much competition. So if a brand can book an influencer or a few influencers and get their product out to their whole audience, it can be a gold mine for them.
And one thing we actually recommend to influencers, because that's such a big time, it's such a highly booked time, is raising your sponsorship rates 20 to 30%. And sponsors usually
Mhm.
don't bat an eye at that. They understand there's high demand, so they're going to have to pay an increased price. Just like, we run ads for a good influencer during that time, and the ad spend has to be so much higher because there's so much more competition. It's just kind of the name of the game at that time of year.
Yeah, and on the DL, just for our listeners, oftentimes that is when we raise our prices and then we generally don't have them come back down. They'll continue on at that price for the next year. We usually keep our prices the same all year and then we bump them up and then usually we keep them around that for the following year. Little tip for you. If you're completely booked, bump it to 30%. If you have room on your calendar, keep it at 20%. This is a sliding scale. And we always prep our Q4 media kit in Q3 and we make it holiday themed or just like wintry, like we put our best images that we captured in Q4 the year before and we up our prices and we put new offerings, these brands where, you can have a mention on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. You can have a paid bought in our shop or our gift guide, and that will be disclosed, but you can do that. You can buy that. And when I say room in your calendar, I really mean one, are you keeping the balance of 80% organic content to 20% sponsored content? On top of that, are you booked and busy? Or is that whole 20% booked? Or do you feel like, oh, I'm only booking, especially like maybe I'm only booking one a week right now? And then maybe you shouldn't raise your prices just yet.
If you're going to be an influencer, be a paid one.
Thank you.
So leave in the comments, what's your version of Coachella? Maybe it's Prime Day. Maybe it's another sale day.
Prime Day's a good one. Prime Day is a really good one. Although Amazon has, in my opinion, made a little mistake in doing Prime Day too often. Now there's 2 Prime Days a year. There's one in July, and then there's one in October. And then they did like this spring big deals day, which was really soft and long. Like there was not a lot on sale. And I feel like on Prime Day, we track these prices and we're like, this isn't even a deal. Or sometimes they'll like hike it up and then bring it back down. There's no worse feeling when I don't catch that and I think something's a good deal and I share it with our audience and someone in our audience is like, no, they hiked this up and this is a false sale. And I feel so stupid because that's my job to know that.
Somebody needs to talk to the FTC about these companies hiking up the prices on sale weekends.
How is that legal? Hey, if you're listening and you filed a lawsuit to Revolve, get on Amazon next.
She's just the martyr, the FTC martyr. Well, we're talking about a lot of stuff coming up, even though we're still months and months away from Q4. Like these are all things running in our minds. Of course, we're thinking about growth, we're thinking about engagement. And we were talking in the office about kind of creator cardio and having to kind of juggle all the responsibilities of being an influencer. What has been like you've been doing this for 16 years, and how have you kind of learned to juggle that along the way?
First and foremost, you can tell when things are flowing and when things are at a standstill. And it might be your creativity, it might be your growth, it might be sponsorships, it might be content. And like everyone has these blocks at different points in times. And I think that there are some things that are just always going to help you get back into a flow state. And I think going back to the basics is really, really important. I have this tip, and I'm going to give you my best kept secret for growth right now. And it's free. It's something that anyone can do. And I promise you, if you do this every day for 30 minutes, you will grow your audience. And even if you have whether you have 1,000 followers or 100,000 followers or 1.4 million followers, if you do this one thing every day for 30 minutes, you are going to see exponential growth. And that is commenting on other creators' content, especially in your niche. Let me tell you why this is so important and why this works. If you take 30 minutes out of your day and comment on other people's content, one, Instagram rewards this behavior because Instagram overall wants consumers on their platform. If it was all creators and no consumers of content, they wouldn't have a platform. So they want to make sure there's people commenting and engaging. Be one of those people. Number two, anytime I say this out loud, I feel like it sounds icky, but it's not. It's genuine. And it is start leaving comments. I don't want you to leave an emoji. I don't want you to leave a love this. I don't want you to leave like a generic comment. I want you to leave a heartfelt, maybe it's witty. When you do that and you leave a comment and it's a good comment, people are going to start liking your comment. And then your comment is going to be at the top and other people are going to see that and they're going to be introduced to you through just your engagement. And if it's good enough, if you do it often enough and people see you everywhere, one of these times they're going to get curious and they're going to click over and they're going to hopefully follow you. When I say like anytime I'm stagnant in my growth, no matter how many followers I have, do this for 30 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be a 30-minute block. It can be, broken up throughout the day. But if you're not contributing to a conversation on social media, you are not going to grow because it's all creator behavior and no consumer behavior.
That's so true. And there is so much to learn about how to create content by observing how you use the app. What links are you clicking on? What content are you liking? What content are you commenting on? Now, what Julie is saying of engaging on accounts is not the same as being in an engagement group. Engagement groups are organized. It's you're saying, hey, I posted, go comment on my post. They're usually not very thoughtful, usually just love this with a heart emoji. This is you consciously taking 30 minutes out of your day to be an engaged user and you get a kickback from it. So not only are you learning what kind of content you engage with, but you could be gaining followers and more engagement from engaging.
Also, seeking out creators that might be new to you. That's the problem with engagement groups. It's this one tight circle. You're not going outside of that circle. How are you reaching new people? So really reaching outside of people that you might follow. Another thing that I like to do in my stories is share images or reels that I either found funny or inspiring this week. And I share them to my stories and I tag the creator. Again, I leave a genuine compliment on either why this inspired me because my audience loves that education. And then I think, again, it's great to shout out other creators. I would say at least 50% of the time, that creator is then going to share my shout out to them in their stories. Again, I'm reaching another audience. And sometimes people come back and follow me. And then we talked about, again, just focusing if you're worried about content creation, start with documenting what you're doing every day. And that kind of will get the juices flowing.
Yeah. Engaging sparks engagement. Community over competition. We say it all the time.
Every day.
I mean, when we're talking about like the whole scope of being an influencer, what are your other like must do's every week of like, if I'm going to get to anything this week, I want to get to this list of things. And then everything else is just kind of the cherry on top.
Okay, so we talked about the check marks that I check off for growth. Those are the engagement benchmarks. Those are the things that I'm either doing every day or sharing in stories is something I try to do about once a week. Now, when I say if you want to grow, you should be posting 5 times a week, people are like, I don't have time for that. I'm like, okay, you're not going to grow as fast as someone that is doing that, period.
Yeah.
You can expect moderate to slow growth if you're not posting 5 times a week. Right now, I'm not posting 5 times a week in my feed because my goal right now is not huge growth. To have high engagement in your stories, get on your stories and show your face and talk to your audience and make sure you have captions on there. If I'm watching someone's stories that don't put the auto captions on, I'm skipping your story. Once an audience member skips your story, Instagram marks that as this person was skipped and they're like logging that away. Like that is a strike because then Instagram is going to see how many times people skip your stories before they stop recommending you to people. It's such an easy thing to just turn on auto captions. It's the little square with the smiley face. Click on it, press captions. It's okay if they're not 100% accurate. Just get them on there so people don't skip your stories. Let's talk about if I want to grow my revenue, if I want to work with sponsors. Have you sent out any pitch emails? Send 5 pitch emails a week. Expect them to say no. Hope that they say yes, but like, you're just doing this because you are getting into the practice of being an influencer. And I think from the very, very start, from when I had no followers, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And it was a mindset shift.
You need to
I used
cast a
to-
wide net too. If you need to pitch to a lot of people, and maybe if you pitch to 5 people, 3 of those are no's, 1 is a maybe, and 1 is a for sure yes.
Yeah, I think that as influencers, if you pitch one sponsor an email and they say no, don't take that as no one wants to work with me. You sent one email. I sent so many emails when I was first starting out, and many times I didn't even hear back. And then I sent a DM, like I started sending DMs, and eventually you are going to get a yes. And then you're going to see like, oh, what I am doing is working and it is worth it. All the while you are growing your audience by doing these other things.
And I will say, like, in the beginning, when you're just starting out, you're going to have a lot of brands DMing you. You're going to get some like bot emails from these brands who are saying, like, I'll give you a discount code for 3 reels. And the brands you are pitching, you're sending your media kit to, you're sending a thoughtful message to, those are the ones that are going to pay you. You're not likely to get paid from these brands who are just sending out mass DMs to influencers every day trying to get free content.
A lot of times, if you go to a company's website and click on press, or sometimes they'll have like an affiliates button, or sometimes they'll have usually under press, and then I'll email the marketing person that I can find. So that's kind of how I started. Also, shooting them a DM and saying, hey, my name's Julia, and we have a really exciting project coming up that I think your umbrellas would be perfect for. Can I reach out to your marketing team? Send it. Easy as that. How many people can you DM a day?
Set a timer.
That's a great idea. Set a 30-minute timer for commenting on other creators' stuff, and then set another 30-minute timer for just pitching. Becca and I love chatting with you every week, but in between the podcast episodes, we're hanging out in our influencer mastermind. With a good influencer subscription, you get access to our exclusive course library designed to help you build your business as an influencer and our mastermind forum on Facebook. This is your place to ask questions, network, and workshop. Here you can receive feedback from thousands of other influencers and our team. Listeners get 30% off their monthly subscription by using the code podcast at checkout. See you in the mastermind.
What about affiliates? Because I see a lot for influencers starting out is that they're putting so much time into monetizing and getting sponsorship started and affiliate started. What is the balance between focusing on that organic content creation and focusing on the monetizing side of things with sponsorships and affiliates?
Right now, if you're just starting out, all of your affiliates should be reactive. Your content should be organic, what you're doing in the moment, and the affiliates will come from that. Should you be conscious if what you're wearing can be linked to? Absolutely. This is your job now. Your uniform should be something that you can link to for your job. If you have the option to buy a sofa and your home influencer from somewhere that's affiliated and somewhere that's not affiliated, it would be a smart business move to buy one that's affiliated. These are the mindset of an influencer that wants to create organic content, and the affiliates will come. I just watched this fashion influencer and she was showing all of her shoes for summer. I watched the whole thing. It was about 25 slides. And she showed these are the shoes. This is how I would style it, like 15 to 20 times. I could not even imagine how much work that was. Let's say it took her 4 or 5 hours. That's her workday. She's like, this is what I'm doing for my workday. She's a fashion influencer. I'm going to show my audience 15 shoes for summer. I'm going to style every single thing. And guess what? All of that went to affiliates. So don't think how fast I can do this or I don't have time to do this. Start blocking out your days. This is my work day. Is it something that's going to be educational, inspiring, creative, funny content that can be affiliated? They should not be two separate thoughts. This is entertaining, inspiring, educational, and it's affiliated. I'm going to get all of those done at the same time. You should not be creating content that cannot be affiliated in some way.
Not necessarily carving out time for affiliates. You're spending time more on that organic and the affiliates kind of come with it.
They should be naturally woven in. Now
I
you
love that.
can, one thing that she did, this fashion influencer that I was watching, she said, I'm going to give you all the links at the very end. And so it was a lot of like really just organic content. And then at the very end, we got all the links. And the more I watched it, the more I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this link. So it was a really well done segment. And it was really inspiring to me because a lot of times, I'm like purely organic, like, what am I doing today? And then I'll link this. But this was also organic content in that she was saying, I'm going to produce this content and also it's affiliated. Don't do something that you can't make money doing. Someone came up to me at the gym and they were telling me about how, they want to be an influencer and they just like don't want to do the affiliate part. And I'm like, it's not worth it. For me, it's just not worth it if you're not going to get paid. What? So you have a bunch of followers? Not worth it if you're not going to get paid. I promise you're going to burn out. You have to get paid for your work. And so if you're going to be an influencer, be a paid one, period.
So true. And don't feel bad about sharing affiliate. If you feel bad about sharing affiliate links, it's time to change your mindset. And you are providing a service for your followers. If it doesn't feel like you're providing a service, you may be sharing too many links. It may not feel really organic to your audience. So you may just need to tweak your strategy a little bit, but you're not pushing links. You're not forcing people to buy anything. You're getting a kickback from something they're already purchasing.
And it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything extra to them.
Yeah.
That's common misunderstanding that I hear from audiences. They feel like if I buy something through your link, it's going to be more expensive. And it's not. This is a part of the brand's marketing budget. It costs the same exact thing, whether you go directly to the site or whether you buy it from someone's link. And additionally, if you want to get in on brands' radar as you're doing your organic content, tag them in your stories.
It's influencers' version of networking. to tag brands in your content.
100%. This is just networking. This is not paid. This is not sponsored. This is not anything. This is just networking. So,
and then whenever you DM the brand to say, hey, can I get a marketing contact? I'd love to work together. You have a catalog of things you've tagged them in that they can look back on and see, this is someone who really loves our product, who shares us organically really often. So I think it would be a great fit to work together.
we just gave away all the secrets right here.
We have nothing left. This is the final episode. So when we're talking about your checklist dues every week, engaging with other creators in your niche, posting high performing content at least 5 days a week, talking to your audience in stories with captions, sending pitch emails for 30 minutes every week, take some new photos, spend some time on high quality content, plan your next week's content, and then look for ways to organically work those affiliate links in. Make your checklist this week, set a timer, make some time blocks for yourself, set work hours, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Until next time, follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Good Influencer. And if you're ready to join a whole community of influencers growing organically and getting paid to do what they love, join the Good Influencer Mastermind by visiting our website, good-influencer.com. If you're going to be an influencer, be a good one.